Hi, my name is Dalton Eden, and I'm a project coordinator here at Plow. So I started at Plow in late November of last year. Yeah, so before Plow, I was a team lead of a help desk. It was with one of our clients. I actually worked over at LKQ. So that role was mainly kind of over our tier 1 help desk. So I kind of handled a lot of the team meetings, the metrics, so reporting, jumped in, helped out with calls if I needed to, and just kind of made sure we flowed as a help desk day to day and made sure kind of that went smoothly. So before LKQ, I did some basic data entry stuff, but I'd always been in IT. I went to school for IT, and it's always growing up. I've got uncles who have been in IT, and it's just something that's kind of naturally, I guess, drawn me in. And so just with that, I've just gone with it and seen where it takes me. I guess for me, with IT, I enjoy the creative stuff a little bit, but I've always been drawn to like data and numbers and that kind of side of things. And this stems away from IT, but my wife is all about it, the whole Enneagram stuff. And I'm a 5, and so I love like numbers. I'm very analytical. I analyze things. I like to be just to the point, know what I'm doing kind of thing. And so yeah, that's kind of my side of it. Being on a help desk, it's calls and you never really know what the problem is. So it's kind of always just chaos in a way. I mean, you kind of expect the calls, but it's chaos and that it's just all day long. Whereas with this role, it's more organized. Like I know when my calls are for projects, I schedule the breakouts, I schedule all this stuff. So it's like having that organization in my day where I can kind of set it. It just makes things so much easier. That time at LKQ was just, I think the way that it taught me stress management and like handling, when shit hits the fan, essentially, like how to manage that. I think, that information itself was invaluable. Whereas like if I came to somewhere like this role where it was already organized, you never get that, I guess, aspect of it. So it was a cool development thing for sure. So my first IT job was there at tier 1, just help desk, and then went up to team lead. But yeah, that was my first position with IT. So how I got, I guess, introduced to Plow was actually with Jason Miller. He was actually, when I started at LKQ, he was my boss's boss. So I've already known Jason. He's a good friend of my dad, who also works at LKQ. So Jason kind of came to my dad one day and was like, hey man, I've got, this project coordinator position. Do you think Dalton would be interested? And my dad checked in with me, and, so Jason kind of reached out to me directly and we started talking, and then I interviewed and here I am. So kind of full circle with Jason. Yeah, so as a project coordinator, I typically handle a lot of our meetings, a lot of our project kickoffs, our status meetings, and just kind of checking in day to day with the guys, making sure our action items are getting completed, we're staying on task, and then communicating with the end user a lot as well with what we're missing, accesses we need, and just, I guess, making sure in turn that we get what we need so we can provide those services to people as well. So a lot of meetings, a lot of emails, a lot of that stuff. It feels so natural, I guess. Everything, I don't know. It just feels good to be in a spot where I feel like it makes sense. So I think for us, some of the goals going into this year, which we're still working on defining quite a few of them, but we're re-looking at some of our templates for some of the things that we're, I guess, providing as services to better clarify some things that we need to add in or maybe take out, just to avoid the changes being made through the project. So I guess creating a smoother transition, knowing like, okay, if we have, this specific service that we're providing, this kind of goes hand in hand with it. Why don't we just go ahead and include this all in one? Let's not, worry about a change down the road. Let's just, have that all together. But, I think as we go, it's just a lot of better understanding how we can provide services to the customer. And then, I guess, just defining that as we go and improving as we can. My favorite part about it, I guess, just rolls back into who I am. So just the organization, the communication, because I think as I've grown, just through working and learning, I've really enjoyed the communication aspect of things, just talking to people, getting to know people, and building relationships that way. So I think that's a lot of fun, but a lot of the organization, just being able to structure my day, the flow of it, and just the feel, I guess, of the company in general, not even necessarily specifically the role, but just the company in general just feels so tight-knit, and everybody talks to everybody. There's no communication blockages. Everything is just so smooth, I guess, is the best way to put it. Everybody's happy to help everybody. Everybody's working together to achieve the same goal, which I feel like you said, with smaller companies, that feel comes a lot more naturally. When you get into those big corporations, you lose that feeling. Everybody's just about the business. You know, you talk with other teams and it's like there's a blockage, like there's a wall, and it takes days to get a response. Whereas I can reach out to anybody from any other team and I can get a response within minutes. So it's just that feel. It just feels like everybody's here to do the same thing, to work together, to just be, I guess, the best that we can be at Plow. So advice I would give to my younger self, or someone just trying to get into IT in general, would be just first of all, be a sponge. Like, just learn anything and everything you can. Don't set yourself on one specific path too early, because I think growing into IT, you learn that there's so many different pathways that IT has, from, just the networking side to hardware, software, cybersecurity. There's all different niches that you can go. And until you really explore that part, you never really know. Like, I grew up wanting to do stuff with networking, and then I got into wanting to do coding, and then here I am being a project coordinator. So it's like, don't limit yourself to one thing. Like, keep your mind open, learn as much as you can. And if you see an opportunity that looks interesting, don't be afraid to take it, even if it's something that you haven't done before. For me, what I'm looking forward most to would just be growing and learning. Like I said, I've never done anything like this before with project coordinating and that kind of stuff. Even though it kind of fits into who I am, there's still a lot to learn about the role. And so for me, it's just learning and understanding the role better, and then just seeing where I can grow from here within the company, what I can do to help out better, and just kind of seeing where it takes me.